Today I tested some powdered shortening in order to have something to compare it to. First I put some regular shortening in a frying pan and fried up some onions. I'm going to speed this up so that you won't have to sit here and watch onions fry. Notice how there's plenty of oil in the pan with regular shortening. Now let's see what powdered shortening will do. I didn't have any directions for mixing this, so I just kept playing with it until I got something that looked like shortening. I added some of the shortening to a pan and fried some onions. See how this shortening remains white instead of turning to a clear oil like regular shortening? This shortening has a slight milk taste to it. Sorry about all the noise in the background. That's the Navy jets practicing up there. When things heat up in this country, they get busy. I didn't get a picture of it, but when these onions were done, there was no oil left in the pan. It does produce an oil, but it's not a whole lot. Another thing I didn't get a picture of was these onions after they had cooled down. When they were cold, they were coated with something that looked like shortening. Next, I baked some peanut butter cookies with the shortening. I've made this recipe 100 times and I know how these cookies are supposed to turn out. So I'll only use the powdered shortening with these. At this point, I could tell that this wasn't going to turn out well. This dough was a lot drier than normal. The cookies on the right were the first batch that I made. They didn't flatten out and spread out the way they were supposed to. So I made another batch and added some more peanut butter and some more shortening. The cookies still didn't turn out the way they were supposed to. If it wasn't for the oil and the peanut butter, there's no telling how bad these cookies would have turned out. I was going to make some bread with this shortening, but I'm pretty sure that it's not going to turn out, and I just don't want to waste my time and my ingredients on it. There is some oil in the shortening, but it's not enough, in my opinion, to be effective. I had hoped that this powdered shortening would work out because it has a longer shelf life than regular shortening. The powdered shortening has a shelf life of 5 years versus the 2 years on the regular shortening. But in my best estimation, I think the cost of the powdered is about double what the cost of the regular shortening is, and it just isn't effective enough, in my opinion, to justify the extra expense. I'm sure that some people think I'm really being picky, but I don't want to find myself one day sitting down to a plate of food where the meat tastes like dog food, the vegetables taste like cardboard, the bread is hard as a rock, and I'm spreading something on it that'll make me gag. I'm trying to avoid hard times, not set the table for it.